Hello, welcome to Feed the Seed to Succeed, where we have positive conversations to uplift the community. I'm Fungus.
I'm T Nut, the Nutty Professor.
Fidel
Hey,
Chagolla.
Richard Giles.
yeah. We have some special guests in the house today. We have members from the chapter, Riverside chapter of All of Us or None, the infamous Riverside chapter of All of Us or None. You know what I mean? Put in work. You know what I mean? So let me do it that way. So why don't y'all introduce yourself?
Okay. Yeah, thank you for that, T. Thank you for that, Elliot. Feed the seed. Oh man, that sounds deep already. Just hearing that and saying that. Feed the seed. My name is Fidel Chagolla. I'm one of the organizers for Riverside All of Us or None. I'm also a UCR alum, a member of the Underground Scholars Initiative, and also a grad student at the University of Redland, just finishing up my master's program. I have been directly impacted by mass incarceration. Uh, I've already been out for like over 14 years. And I work in reentry. For those of you that are not too familiar with All of Us or None, it's a national grassroots organization led by folks that have been uh, impacted by the criminal justice system. It's us, our families, and allies all over the states.
Right on. And Richard, why don't you introduce yourself?
Okay, my name is Richard Giles. I'm also an organizer for Riverside All of Us or None, uh, rising scholar, full-time student at RCC, uh, presently released 8 months ago,
Okay.
2 days ago, after serving almost 30 years of a life sentence. Uh, I'm happy and honored to be an organizer with Riverside All of Us or None, participatory defense, and
Oh.
I have a great life. I'm living my best life forward.
Hey, before we even get started, right, all the way,
Yes,
right,
sir.
I just wanted to say, man, welcome home, bro.
Thank you
30
very much. I
years, you know what
appreciate
I
it.
mean?
So
Welcome
happy to
home,
be.
man. For
Thank
real, man. I'm glad to be sitting there looking at you. You know what I mean? And
you
you're in
very much.
you're in a good place. You know what I mean? Starting over, you know, I'm RCC, rising scholars. You know, you putting yourself in a pathway towards success, bro. So
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
I'm glad to hear all of that. You know, and it touched my heart that you with Riverside All of Us or None. I'm a founding member of Riverside All of Us or None. So, like, man, we all family up in here, you know?
Yes, sir. Yes,
Yeah,
sir. It
yeah,
feels
yeah.
great.
So for real, so but then I heard y'all was just out in Detroit. What was that about?
Oh man, I'll get to that right now. The thing that pops into my mind right now is feed the seed, man. Richard, you know what? Welcome home, and I'm glad that you're here with us. Just absorbing, sucking in all this information, uh, all these different things that we have been working on throughout these years. This is a phenomenal spot to be in, to learn from, just to share those information because I think it's very important for you to talk about what those challenges have been since you came home and talking about like, just acclimating back into society, and having a community to come home to. And I'm glad that we're able to like uh share the knowledge that we have with you. So welcome home, Richard.
Thank
Yeah,
you
thank
very
you for
much.
that,
Thank you
Terrence.
very much.
Yeah.
So we had the opportunity to go into Detroit, Michigan. Literally, uh, I would say, man, probably like 7 minutes away from Canada. Literally 7 minutes away from Canada. And we are at the Marriott Hotel, which was a huge hotel that I believe they have their Chevy meetings or something. It's like their hub right there. Chevy hub, Ford, uh, uh, auto industry where they first started at. So yes, we went out there to Detroit, and the reason why we went out there to Detroit, um, because of formerly incarcerated, convicted families people's movement, which works on a variety of different things. But one of the things that we worked on in Detroit, Michigan, is letting folks know um, to vote, to get involved with civic engagement and advocacy work where they live, where they're living at. Um, we went out there. I want to say it was probably like over 500 folks. Over 500 folks went out there. We flew from all over the states. We got to stay over there for around, I want to say it was around 4 days. We stayed out there for 4 days. Uh, we were able to do some workshops about some of the things that we have been working on in different states, so that way we could share that information. Feed the seed. We're feeding the seed, right? Letting our folks know exactly what we got going on in all different states. At the same time, we went out there door knocking. We went out there door knocking in Detroit, uh, to get folks involved, to let them know, like, hey, you know what? Like for me, for example, I was going out there letting folks know, I'm from California. I'm with an organization called Riverside All of Us or None. And we're not here to tell you who to vote for. We're just here to tell you like how important it is to get involved with voting. So that way you're making a decision on the choices that are going to affect your lives, your children's lives, and generations to come. So that was the most amazing thing out there to getting to try to get folks involved with, why should they vote? Because some folks may not believe in voting, some folks may not be right there at that moment, but for us coming from all over the states to share this information of the challenges and some of the things that we've won on being an organizer with All of Us or None, and knowing about Ban the Box, AB 1008, knowing about Proposition 17, just to share that information with folks. Like, it's a process sometimes, but we made this happen over here in our states. These are the similar things that can happen in your guys' states as well. Detroit, Michigan. So you know what? It was great to go out there, and man, we were deep, man. We were literally deep. Like, we went to all the houses out there, and I think I forgot the amount. We, at the same time that we were out there, going door to door, letting folks know about the timeline for voting. At the same time, they were inside the hotel phone banking. And they reached out to, we reached out to so many people. We reached out to so many folks out there just to let them know. Check this out, though. I went to 8 Mile, right? Because, I wanted to go see where Eminem was at, right? I went to 8 Mile, right? And I went to this fish shop. And there was a lady there. And, I was trying to talk. I had my FIC FPM shirt, sweater on, and I was getting some fish, and I started talking to this lady that was right there, and she was like, "Where are you from?" And I was like, "I'm from California," and she's like, "What are you doing out here?" And I broke it down to her why I'm out here, why we're out here, and I let her know a little bit about our organization. I let her know, like, she's like, "What are they paying you?" They ain't paying me nothing to come out here. Uh, she was like, "So you're just coming out here?" I said, "Yeah, just to try." She's like, "Who you working for then?" I said, "Look, we're not working for no political party. We're just explaining the importance around voting. The decision is completely up to you. We're just here to let you know how important it is for us to start getting actively involved with voting and trying to understand what's going on in the political aspect. Because if not, then people are going to make decisions for us, and they might not be the best decisions for us. So you know what? It's time for us to." And she was like, "Look, can you do me a video?" I was like, "All right, shoot it." So she recorded me, right? Check this out. She recorded me. I gave her my little spiel why we're out there. And she said, "You know what? I got 11,000 followers on my TikTok. I'm going to share this." So she shared it on her TikTok, and it reached out to 11,000 folks. So,
Oh,
and that was in Detroit. Didn't know her. Just started the conversation. We're for the people. We're out there for the people, and you know what? We're just trying to get folks involved because a lot of folks don't believe in voting. You know what? I never used to vote in my life, and I barely started voting within the last 4 years. And
come on.
it's a process. It's important because the thing about it is, it takes time to get used to understanding the language, but then we got to do our own research on what we're voting for, because you know what? It does affect us and our families' lives. And I want to be a part of that. I want to be a part of that now, because now I know how important it is. And I try to share this information with family, friends, other organizations, our folks returning home from incarceration, how important it is. So you know what? It was a great opportunity going out there to Detroit, Michigan.
Man, that's awesome. You know what I mean? But you know something? The struggle's real. Like I had a call, it was a national call, and there was people from all over America, right? Like different states, cities, and all kinds of stuff, and we all have the same struggle. It's amazing that somebody from Michigan would tell your story about like, having a hard time getting jobs, having a hard time getting housing, having a hard time, and like how that we need more support in our communities, So it's like we're in California, and California is known for mass incarceration. We done built so many prisons, it's ridiculous, you know what I mean? But like other states, Pennsylvania, Ohio, Michigan, Texas, Arizona, Illinois, like, you know what I mean? People are dealing with the collateral consequences of criminal conviction, and like things like voting like matters, you know what I mean? Because like um 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 it's a voice, it's a voice. So Richard, I'm sorry, I'm cutting you off. Richard,
Yes, sir.
you gonna vote November?
Absolutely.
Oh, come on. How you feel?
Absolutely. I
How you
voted
feel?
I
Come
voted
on,
for the
talk to
first
me.
time in my life, Super Tuesday.
Yeah.
Yes.
Tell me
And
about it.
that was an experience.
Yes,
I'm
sir.
out here. I'm in here with both feet.
Yeah. So
Part of the solution.
part of the solution,
Yes, sir.
to the pollution, right?
Yes.
Yes, sir. Nah, I was wondering because like it's been a long time. Like when so you already voted.
Yes, sir.
How did you feel when you melted in?
I didn't mail it in. I went
Okay.
in. I walked in.
Okay.
I went in person.
Okay. So how did it feel? How did it feel when you was like just the check marks? You know what I mean? Like
It was breathtaking. It was an experience I can't even imagine.
you can't even imagine, huh?
Yeah, I'm like, this is part of my new life. This is me now.
Right.
You know what I
You know,
mean? I'm
and
part of society.
are you still on parole? I'm not gonna be
Yes,
in your
sir.
so
I
like
was unable to go to Detroit because my parole officer said I had to be out at least a year.
yeah, nah, because it's interesting because like a couple of years ago we was fighting for people to be on parole to vote. You know what
Yes.
I mean? And like, it's just, it's always like like you're a testament to the work that can happen when people like us get involved. You know what I
Yes,
mean?
sir.
Like this,
Yes,
this just
sir.
it just brings so much joy to my heart, man. And I'm excited for you, brother, too. You know what I mean? We're
Thank you. I
excited
appreciate
together
it.
in this fight. You know what I mean? So, but one more thing, man. Detroit, man. I heard you said you were 7 minutes away from from Canada. Did you go to Canada, Fidel?
Oh man, you know what? I was so excited. I could literally look out my window, right? From the hotel and see the Canadian flag right there. I could see Caesar's Palace right there, Caesar's casino right there. And I was like, you know what? I'm this close. I gotta go. I even had my passport. I had my passport. And I went over there. I went over there. I showed them my passport, and then they told me to make a right to the other side. They're gonna ask me some questions. So I went in there, and then they started asking. They took me into a little room. Remember, the last felony I had was in 2002, which is 20 some years ago. I've been out 14 years. I got a certificate of rehabilitation from San Bernardino. Uh, and they asked me about my charges, what I've been convicted of. And they said, look, you can't come to Canada. You can't come to Canada because you have a record. And I was like, look, man, they were like, why did you come over here? I was like, look, I'm literally like 5, 7 minutes away from here. I was so excited because Canada's right here and I haven't been in many countries. And they shot me down. They
Man,
shot me.
hold up. So that means you didn't got your associates, your bachelor's, working on your master. What you get your master's in?
Clinical mental health counseling.
Mental health counseling. A ticket, a certificate of rehabilitation, and you still can't go. to another nation?
Yeah.
Man, that's wild, man. That is wild. And then one more thing too, man. One more thing. And I heard you say this too, that you couldn't go to an opportunity about voting and uplifting the community because you were on parole.
Yes, sir.
Do you hear these barriers, you know, that could put a person in a better place?
Yes.
You know, if people that want something out of life, and we're still being hit with these barriers. You know what I mean? So, like, man, that means the fight must continue.
Absolutely.
That's what that means. That means the
struggle
fight
is real.
that means it is real in the field. You know what I mean? But for sure, we were talking about voting, right?
Yes, sir.
So, I know y'all came here today because y'all wanted to educate us on a proposition that is on the November ballot.
Yes, sir.
Well, come on, educate me, brothers.
Okay, I'm gonna speak first because I'm a little nervous and
It's all right. Hey, speak from your heart, bro.
yes,
Heart, you know.
I'm here to educate the people on Prop 6, which will amend the state constitution to eliminate all forms of slavery and servitude, involuntary servitude for incarcerated individuals.
So slavery still exists?
Yes, sir. Modern day slavery exists if you commit crimes. Thus, the prisons use that to their advantage.
Can't believe this. Go ahead.
Yeah, they say they're CDCR, which is California Department of Corrections and Rehabilitation, but it's exploitation over rehabilitation. Thus, they have so many private industries that makes buku billions off the prison industry in California.
Wait a minute. So you're saying that there's corporations and businesses that are profiting off of this?
Absolutely. And I worked for one of them in a t-shirt factory for almost 10 years for Caltrans. Making their vests, making their everything. You know, getting paid pennies. And if I was sick, in which times I was sick and couldn't even get out of bed, I got a write-up for it.
And what year are we in right now?
2024.
And this still exists?
Still exists.
Wow.
Yes. And I was in a position not that long ago where I'd have chosen rehabilitation programs over forced labor any day. Because unlike some people, I had people that loved me, that made sure I go to the store, that made sure I get packages. So I wanted education over that. I wanted to, you know, prepare myself for society because even though I had life sentence, I knew I wasn't going to be in there for the rest of my life. It wasn't God's plan for me to do that, you know, especially for a nonviolent crime. So man. It's real, you know, by allowing incarcerated individuals to choose rehabilitation programs such as Narcotics Anonymous, Alcohol Anonymous, Victims Impact, Anger Management, numerous groups, which will help make our society and communities better and safer when they are paroled, when they get out.
Wait, I'm a little lost here. So tell me, Richard.
Yes, sir.
How is it that forms of slavery still exist within our state?
Because people who are locked up, they force jobs on you over education. And if you do not go to them jobs when you're supposed to, they penalize you for it. So individuals that's lifers, that affects your board. That affects when you go to the board, regardless what it is. They don't want to hear it. They see it on paper. Oh, we see you refused to work. No, I was sick. No, you refused to work. They don't write it up that you were sick. So,
but I thought any forms of slavery within the Constitution were removed.
Not in California. not in California. There are states where it was removed, like Alabama, Colorado,
You said
Nebraska,
Alabama?
Oregon,
Wow.
Tennessee, Utah, Vermont. Those states removed it from their state constitution. Why can't California?
Wow. So you're saying that states that was under the Confederate Army is getting rid of slavery?
Yes, yes. So their incarcerated individuals get to choose rehabilitation, get to better themselves, education wise, work on their character defects, just like I did. It turned my character defects into character assets.
Come on.
Yes. Yes, sir.
Hit me with the
Yes,
gut one right there. That was a good one. You know what I
thank
mean?
you. Thank
Yes,
you.
sir. Yes,
You
sir.
know, acquire coping skills to deal with situations when they arise.
Yeah.
And I use them every day. I have to, you know.
Yeah. And
I have to always understand my triggers every day.
every day, huh?
You know?
And these skills help you every single day, right?
Yes, sir. Yes,
So,
sir.
so that's what we need to invest in. We need to invest in more like programs, right? Like that help us. That's what you're saying. Like, you
Yes,
know,
sir.
like stay stay true to the R in rehabilitation.
Yes, sir.
You
Yes,
know,
sir.
no, that's all. Nah, I feel that because I was on a lower level, right?
Yes, sir.
And they had me working in recycling. And what they used to do with the recycling was they'll get all the trash from around and they'll just dump it on a big old pad. And we used to have to be swimming in trash to put the we put the papers, the white papers together, the colored papers together, the slick papers like magazines together. If there was any food that wasn't meat, like apple cores and oranges and all these rotten little fruits, we put them in a bucket. Then it was like just like crinkly papers, like soups, you know, but like not the kind with the foil in the inside, you know, because like you know that you like we just use the crinkly papers without the ones with the foil in the paper. So we would sort through trash. I'm talking about like mountains of trash, you know, for pennies of a day. And like this is the place that like if you wanted to if you was on a lower layer and you would like a problem or quote unquote problem, they'll put you there so that you be like, I'm not gonna do this, so that they can send you to like a shoot. You know, so like they was using this place as punishment within punishment, you know,
Mm-hmm.
and then like they had another place, and this like you said, like this was in the 2000s. They had another thing where people were actually breaking rocks.
Hmm.
They had a hammer and they was actually breaking rocks, and they'll break them to like baseball size, and they'll put them in a trash can, this big old dumpster. And like they was using that to break people, you know, and like, you know, like and like to the point that you're saying, this was like for pennies. Even if you some people didn't even have a pay number, you know, like they didn't even get no pennies. They just you know what I mean? So it was just like people was happy to get a penny. So people was happy to get a 15-cent pay number, 20-cent pay number, you know, and like, you know, I always thought about that when it comes to it, like, you know, and then like, so like we recycle all this stuff, and then like we would have to use the pallet jack and put it on these big old machines, and like you see how sometimes you see them big trucks and they driving off with all them recycling goods and stuff. We used to do that in prison.
Hey, Terrence, I don't mean to cut you off, but we have 5 minutes.
Oh shoot. Okay, well, I'm saying all that to say, you know that was slave labor. And then like people don't realize how massive it is, right? Is that pretty much every license plate that comes from California comes from prison.
Yes.
You know, every license plate, they doing it in PIA.
Hey,
And
we haven't even touched on the folks that are in juvenile detention centers.
right.
Because when
And,
I was in there, I was forced to work when I was in the California Youth
come on.
Authority.
Me too. I was forced to work in camp. You know what
Me
I
too.
mean? So and then like it's lead in the paint. with these license plates. So like, so it's like it's so many different levels to this, and it's still alive and thriving in America. So like, I'm in America, in California. So like, I'm gonna give it back to y'all to close. We got like you said, we got a few minutes, but
Cool. Yeah, thank you for adding that context, Richard, and thank you for providing that clarity so that way folks know how exactly involuntary servitude looks and continues to affect our lives. And how it's able to still be in our Constitution. So that's that's deep.
So, were there any other propositions you wanted to discuss?
yeah, Prop 36 is a California ballot initiative that is a prison spending scam. It's more of a solution than a solution. Prop 36 itself is a solution to retail theft, fentanyl, but it's not true. These are real problems that need to be addressed. But Prop 36 will actually defund successful rehabilitation programs by hundreds of millions of dollars. And then it also will increase prison spending. 36 will cost taxpayers more than $26 billion in prison costs in the next decade, the highest prison spending increase in California's history. And California has a history of prison spending. And it cuts safety programs. It'll cut 850 million in the next decade for dedicated funding for mental health, drug treatments, and victim services, reentry and crime prevention, and more.
Yeah, that just makes me think about our youth, our youth that have been able to take advantage of some of these diversion programs that were from stemming from Proposition 47. If they remove that, that would mean we'd be incarcerating our youth again. I mean, a lot of the times, it comes down to learning different things, taking advantage of some of these mental health services, taking advantage of some of these employment services that people have been able to benefit from, such as these substance treatment facilities as well. So 26 billion makes no sense. It really makes no sense to continue to incarcerate our folks because that's not a solution. We need resources. We need treatment facilities. We need diversion programs. We need all these different things to help and assist our youth.
So you're saying that. So you're saying that Prop 36 just removes a lot of the opportunities and the rehabilitation programs that would help people reintegrate them to society.
Yeah, absolutely.
Absolutely, and it's actually to decrease recidivism rate because some of the men and women that were able to take advantage of these things, they're able to be mothers and fathers to their children. They're able to learn different skills, whether it's coping mechanisms, whether it's preventative measures when they're thinking about substance use. It would remove all those things that have been beneficial to folks' lives, so that way they can access education, so that way they can access employment, so that way they can work towards accessing some forms of housing. I mean, we already face difficulties living with the record as it is, just like we mentioned with trying to go into Canada, just like we mentioned with being able to access automatic expungements with SB 731, which I was denied from, and I had 20 some letters of recommendation. So yes, it would.
Yeah. It's and what we have done studies, and we have found out that these type of programs have proven to like to better life, and it also has proven to like stop recidivism, which makes the world safer. If people have more avenues to be a part of something, get the help that they need, they are less likely to ever commit a crime again. If people had access to jobs, if people had access to healing, people had access to everything that we're barred from, then it'll make the world a better place. So like, like making felonies easier to get it's not making the world safer. It's making the world a more dangerous place.